I wanted to take a moment to talk about a new watch that I recently acquired. This is the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical 38mm in a white dial. Many of you are probably already familiar with the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical 38mm, but in a black dial. That is their current production model, and this white dial version is a recently released version is for 2019. It's actually a Topper Jewelers exclusive, so it is a Hamilton watch that you have to acquire through Topper Jewelers in Northern California. Currently at this time, things may change. Maybe it won't be an exclusive. Time will tell. I don't know what kind of agreements that they have, but right now, if you're going to get this watch, you'll have to get it from Topper Jeweler. This is basically the same watch as the Khaki Field 38mm in a black dial, except for the dial difference, obviously, a movement difference, and the strap variations. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. This is the reference model H69439512. This comes with the green textile strap, a leather NATO strap, a spring bar tool, which I don't have here, and then a kind of, not really a collector's box, but it comes in this larger box, presentation box. There are two other reference numbers. There's the H69439411, which is basically the version that only comes with the green textile strap. Then there's H69439511, which is the one that only comes with the leather NATO strap. I went ahead and got the one with both straps simply so I can have both as an option. But many of you will probably want to just go with either one and then add your own straps later on. Just because NATO straps are so popular right now, there's so many good sources. As I mentioned earlier, or as you can see, it is a white dial, so that is the key difference between the Topper Jeweler and the current production model, black dial. The movement difference, this one has an H50 movement, which is Hamilton's proprietary movement. The current production Khaki Field Mechanical 38mm in a black dial has an ETA 2801-2 movement. So the ETA 2801-2 is a 4 Hz movement at 28,800 vibrations per hour with a power reserve of 42 hours. This H50 movement is a 3 Hz movement at 21,600 vibrations per hour and an 80-hour power reserve. So you're going to take a hit on the frequency, but you're going to basically double the power reserve. So some people prefer a 4 Hz movement, even a 5 Hz movement, because the frequency actually helps with accuracy from day to day, just simply based on how gravity works and how these mechanical movements work. That faster frequencies tend to result in better accuracy from day to day. But some people may prefer the longer power reserve. I'm sort of indifferent, but I just thought the white dial was cool. I wasn't really thinking too much about 3 Hz versus 4 Hz, and I wasn't really thinking too much about 42 versus 80-hour power reserve. But that is just something to point out here. As far as the case itself, 38mm, again, it is 9.5 millimeters thick, I guess, and then 20mm lugs, so you're going to have a plethora of options as far as straps are concerned, since 20mm is quite common and you can get pretty much any strap in 20mm. The case itself, the lugs are curved, as you can see here, and they actually have that they're drilled in the lugs for the spring bar, which is a feature that I really like out of a sport watch or a field watch, and I wish more modern watches took advantage of this, including Rolex. They've gotten rid of drilled lugs on their subs. I wish they still retain them because it would make strap changes easier. The loom here is a Super Luminova. It's actually relatively nice. It gives it enough as far as the visibility you need at night. The dial itself, as far as the markers are concerned, it has that faux patina look, and a lot of people are not a fan of the aged patina look that they put on some of the modern watches right now. For this particular watch, I think it works simply because it's not overstated. It's very subtle, and the off-white hands actually do help with the visibility of the watch, or the legibility of the watch rather, as well as the markers at the hours. So that is also super loomed, and they're off-white, but it does help with visibility compared to, in contrast with the white dial. So I think it's well done, and it's not going to be a detraction from this overall watch design. The crown is not a screw down. It's basically, since this is a mechanical watch, it's not an automatic, you will be winding this watch. So screw down crown is not really a feature that you actually need out of this watch, especially since it's a field watch and not a dive watch. It's something I have to get used to though, since most of my watches have the screw down crown. The caseback is actually closed. It's a sealed caseback, and I'll go ahead and just take off the strap here. You can see the caseback here. It's got the Hamilton logo, and it has all the data here as far as water resistance. It's 5 bars, obviously Swiss made, and it's a very lightweight, thin design as far as the case is concerned. Again, 9.5 millimeter, and I think it wears quite well actually. As far as the straps are concerned, I do think the NATO strap, the green textile strap, is pretty nice. I like the leather accents that are on it. It's not as plain as standard NATO. I like the leather straps versus metal or steel hardware. This is up to debate how long this will last, but I think this is a nice look to it. And in similarity to the Blancpain's NATO straps, they did add the leather around the holes for the hardware here. So when it comes through here, you got the leather here that should help it out as far as durability on the strap. And then they use leather accents on the front edge of the NATO strap as opposed to steel or any kind of metal. The leather strap, it's thinner than I thought it would be from the photos. It's got some nice stitching to it, and I think this is going to age quite a bit after just very little use, I think. Obviously, leather should wear, and I think that's what gives leather straps their appeal, is they're unique in that depending on how you wear it, how much wear you put into it, the type of aging that goes along with it, it will have a nice look over time. But this is surprisingly thin. I was thinking they might come up with a thicker strap, you know, leather NATO strap, but it is what it is. We'll see how long this lasts. The hardware has the Hamilton name on it. Not much else I can say about it. Stitching looks fine. Same here with the green textile strap. You've got the Hamilton name on here. But again, if you don't like either strap option available for this particular reference, you can always add your own NATO. Here off to the side, I do have my, I think this is this a 20? I'm not sure if this is a 20. Yeah, this is a 20 millimeter. This is actually what I wear with my Omega Seamaster, but I just had these on the side for reference here. The watch itself is quite light. It wears very comfortably. I've noticed it because I wear larger watches, and I have my Blancpain 50 Fathoms Bathyscaphe, which is a 43 millimeter. This thing is pretty hefty. And then Rolex, obviously GMT Master 2 is on a steel bracelet. So these watches, you know, I'm used to the weight on this. So when I put this on, it just feels quite a bit airy. It doesn't have that heft to it, especially compared to a G-Shock. So I think a lot of people will like this, and I think the 38 millimeter is a perfect size for this particular watch. A field watch shouldn't be that big, and I think what helps it out a lot is the dial design. The markers have this black enamel that's they're deep. The fonts, the text, it's very dark, and it has a nice, and it's very black, right? And it just stands out. It's like an enamel lacquer. So off that, you know, in contrast to the white dial, it just stands out, including the smaller 20 or 13 to 24 numerals. For those who have a hard time, you know, using 24-hour clock, they have those on the inside of the dial. But I just think that it's very legible. I mean, that's what I like about white dial watches. And a white dial watch is a lot different compared to other standard watches like a black dial or a blue dial, in that it's not as commonly seen, and it gives a different look for other watches in your collection. Now, as far as the price, this is this reference number that I have with both straps is $625. It runs for $495 if you get the reference number with just the green textile strap, or $525 for the leather strap. I'm not entirely sure. I think the current production model with the black dial is $475. I'm positive it's under $500, and that one comes with a textile NATO strap. I think it might be tan. Now, if there's anyone who actually wants this in a black dial with the H50 in-house movement or proprietary movement, there is one available from what I understand. It's through Uncrate, so that is an exclusive through Uncrate. And I'm not really too sure the details on that as far as price and what their strap options are, but that is available. So Hamilton sells this the Khaki Field Mechanical 38 millimeter in a black dial with the ETA movement. And if you want the H50 black dial, that's going to be through Uncrate. And if you want the white dial, which is currently only available in the H50 movement, you'll get it through Topper Jewelers. Anyway, that's sort of it. If you have any questions about this, feel free to make any, put them in the comments, and I'll try to answer as best I can. But all in all, I think this watch is a very nice piece. I've been wearing it for about a week now, and I just think that it wears very comfortably. It's currently only gaining about 2 seconds a day, which is phenomenal compared to like my Blancpain, which gains about 4 seconds a day. I think sitting flat, if you left it for a day, it gains a second, but with normal wear, it gains about 2 seconds. I think it all depends on the orientation of the watch. You know, in mechanical watches and gravity, it all depends on position. But if you want a nice field watch, again, this is a mechanical movement, not an automatic, but if you want a nice field watch that's very classically designed and understated, I think the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical white dial 38 millimeter is going to be a great option for you, and it's not that expensive at around $500, give or take, on the strap options. Anyway, that's it for this. Thanks for watching, and feel free to reach out in the comments for comment section if you have any questions.
After I recorded that tabletop review, I did come across a few details that are worth mentioning, but I didn't want to have to re-record the entire tabletop review, so I'm just going to tack on this video segment just to add those details. Specifically, I found out that the Khaki Field Mechanical with the black dial is actually available with the H50 movement straight from Hamilton. It's not an Uncrate exclusive. So it's available in two reference numbers, H69439512, that's with the green textile strap that I have, and then the H69439531 with the tan leather NATO strap, which I also have, but not here today. And it's $495 and $525 US dollars respectively. So you can get the Khaki Field Mechanical with the black dial, H50 movement straight from Hamilton. And as far as one other detail that I want to mention is the fact that the accuracy of this watch is actually quite good. After wearing it for another week or so, it's pretty much dead on. So if you wind it all the way up and you let it sit for a day, it'll gain about a second. But if you wear it and throughout the duration of the life of the mainspring, when you have it, wound up, it actually tapers off, and so it's kind of faster at the top end of the power range and then slows down later. So if you average it all out, as long as you keep it wound, it's probably not gonna gain or lose much time. So you could gain a second, lose half a second roughly. So I found that right now it's pretty much, in line with atomic time, even after several days of wearing it and letting it sit overnight, flat on a table. It's keeping great time. So I just wanted to mention that. The H50 movement, even though it's got a 3 hertz movement, 3 hertz frequency, 80-hour power reserve, it's still keeping great time. So if you're kind of concerned that the slower frequency is not as good as an ETA 2801-2 with the 4 hertz movement, I think you'll be satisfied that it's going to keep great time. Anyway, just wanted to mention that. Again, thanks for watching this review, and if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comments. And I also have an article written up at okavj.net with more pictures and written details about my opinions of this watch.